Is it still worth it to learn how to code in 2025? This is a topic that has come up like so many times to the point that it's annoying. And as a computer science student, I am a first year computer science student, currently in my second semester. And it's something that I've heard so much about, and like it's something that I actually kind of had an argument with my mom as I was picking my career, because I was initially called to do medicine, but personally, I cannot handle blood. I hate blood. I can't associate with people as well, especially people whose hands depend on me. But then I like creating life, and I create life through software. So that was enough for me. But then I remember it being an intense discussion, and there were a lot of words thrown around. Hands were almost thrown around because African mom, I mean. But then it's something that I have experienced firsthand, and it's something that I would like to talk about today. Most people say that the end of software engineering itself is imminent. It's almost over, it's almost done. Why? Because of the implementation of AI, the introduction of AI. It's kind of changed everything for the tech field right now. And most companies are just laying off employees without concern for like their families and everything, but then taking it from like let's say an investor or a company executive's perspective, it's a reasonable choice, because most companies argue that with AI being introduced and everything, like it increases the productivity of their companies. So they necessarily don't have to have as much people like in their companies. But then, yeah, they care more about the profits than the employees. But then remember, HR is there for the company, not for you as an employee. And like it's something that it's been discussed like a lot by a lot of people. And personally, I hold the opinion that it is still worth it to learn how to code in 2025. Why do I say that? In the past, I'll give an example. When the calculator was invented, most people argue that we won't need to know how to do basic math and everything. But then personally for me, I'm still struggling with calculus, and I'm required to use basic mathematical skills. I don't need to use I'm not required to use a calculator, but honestly, as I'm practicing for it, it makes life easier. And if we're looking into the past, because I have a background in IT, in the past, in the 1950s, when they started trying to like kind of computate everything, like introduce computation into the world. In the beginning, they started out with punch cards, and like it's evolved much more up until now. I mean, it's been over 70 years, and like it's something that I always say like a lot, and I've been told a lot by my mentors and everyone that I look up to. Honestly, anyone that's in the field and has been in the field for much longer than I have been, like they all tell me the same thing. Like, Olivia, if you're going to get into computer science, you always, always have to be ready to learn. If you're not willing to learn, things won't work out for you. You will struggle. It is not easy. And yeah, it's something that I hold to this day, because if you're in the 1950s and like you kind of held the opinion that, okay, I like punch cards, the way we're doing it with punch cards, I don't need to learn like Fortran and everything. Fortran is one of the early like second generation, first generation languages. I'm not sure. First, second, third generation, I'm not sure. But it's one of the low level languages. That's something I'm sure, because the lowest level is like machine, then assembly. Yeah, third level. It's a low level language. If someone kind of held to the idea that, yo, I like punch cards, I don't need to learn Fortran and everything, obviously through the theory of evolution and everything, like they were wiped out from the field, because we need to keep evolving as a society. And in the 1970s, when Fortran was kind of prevalent and everything, the people who held the logic that punch cards is everything, they'd be wiped out. In the 1990s, when Java was introduced and like Python, when people started learning that stuff, the people who were open to like the evolution of everything and they tried to learn that stuff, it helped them. And like they did pass and they were able to like continue on with like their careers. But then the people who kind of held on to the idea that Fortran is everything, they were kind of phased out of the tech field and everything. And essentially that's just how it is. If you're not willing to learn and everything, it's super hard for you. And it's also something that I've come to realize, like, that's how it is. And like in the past, honestly, with a computer science degree, that was enough. Honestly, when I was first interested in computer science and like the tech field, I remember being so like, I'll just go and I'll get my degree and yeah, that will be enough, and then I'll start making like 6 figures and like racking in big bands and everything, but then that's not how it is. Honestly, that's not how it is. There's a lot of stuff like involved in this like high return. Honestly, it's a high return field. Like honestly, that's the opinion that I hold. It's a high return field, and like essentially that's how it is. If you're not willing to like constantly evolve, it's not worth it to learn tech. But then if you're willing to constantly evolve and like keep up with the times, there's no way AI will like replace a highly skilled engineer. It's close to impossible. Like, and it's something that people need to understand. If you essentially just hold like the mediocre skills that you've displayed for time eternal, if you're still the same way that you were when you first started your career in tech, and it's been 3 years or so, that's why you keep complaining that AI will replace you, because you're not constantly evolving with the times. And you essentially need to constantly evolve with the times, because truth be told, having going to campus for like 4 years and you have no projects to showcase for it, and like a first year who has multiple projects, like that first year will make you eat the dust. And essentially that's how it is. You just need to be ready to constantly evolve in the field. But then yeah, please don't be discouraged. As I always say, tech is a constantly evolving field, and it's a pretty nice field. And like money is a motivating factor. Like, we're not going to pretend that money is not a motivating factor. Money is a motivating factor, but then like you have to be ready to constantly evolve in the field. And that was it for today. Hopefully I'll see you guys next time, and we'll dive more into such topics. If you have anything that you would want me to talk about, please leave it down in the comments and I'll get to it. And with that, I bid you adieu. Bye.